And now to discuss the French perspective, we welcome His Excellency Étienne de Poncins, French Ambassador to Poland. Welcome to TVP World.
Thank you
Very much for finding the time to join us. So to begin with, I'd like to ask you, since this new coalition government has taken over in Poland, have you observed a change in the bilateral relations between Poland and France?
Absolutely. It is maybe not night and day, but there is a lot of positive change and a lot of excitement in France when the new government arrived. First, because President Macron knows very well Prime Minister Tusk for a long time. They are good friends, they are good partner for a long time. And the first meeting in Paris, 26th of February, was 12th of February, sorry, I'm wrong, was very positive, and we have the same ambition to put forward European matters in the right direction.
Right, there was a bit of talk about the Weimar Triangle format becoming one of the primary formats in which Poland seeks its goals in foreign policy, rather than turning away from the previous V4, which was a primary mode for the previous government. What are your expectations concerning the Weimar Triangle? Do you think that it's the proper format and that these big players such as France and Germany together now with Poland can accomplish much more for the continent in terms of security and defense, for instance?
That's correct. But I would say that first of all, we must maybe reaffirm the good bilateral relationship between France and Poland, and this is my first task. Maybe you know that we are engaging into a new treaty that we are going to sign in the coming months. France has a series of treaties with big EU partners, with Germany, with Italy, with Spain, and so Poland is lacking. And my president, maybe you know that my president today made an important speech also in Paris, and he mentioned that he has the willingness to complete this set of treaties with a treaty, maybe it might be called Treaty of Nancy, with Poland. So this is the first, I would say, basic. We want to reaffirm our commitment and re-engage strongly with Poland, because we need Poland in Europe, and we need Poland from a bilateral point of view. From security matters, we have a lot to discuss and a lot of exchanges. And on energy also, there is a lot of possibility for cooperation. And from that basis, yes, we would like to go to the Weimar Triangle format, which is very valuable in the EU as it is now, meaning after the Brexit. It's clear that whether France, Germany and Poland are aligned, things will move into the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And just going back to the speech itself, obviously Foreign Minister Sikorski, he speaks in a way that is very, very engaging. So I wanted to ask you, what elements of this speech perhaps caught your attention? Maybe you found something that was particularly surprising, maybe something that you disagreed with?
No, I think it was, you were right saying it was a robust speech. I was at the same this morning, and there was a lot of attention from my colleague from Diplomatic Corps, because we need also a strong Polish voice in Europe. I very much appreciated that he focused a lot on Ukraine, because Ukraine is a common cause for France and for all European countries, and Poland is very much engaged, and this is very welcome. And on European matters also, I've noticed that it's Minister Sikorski's speech is very much aligned with my president's speech in Paris. We have the same ambition to go further. In the coming months, there will be the Polish presidency of the EU. That will be a key moment, and Minister Sikorski hinted about some priorities, and we share those priorities, in particular security, internal security, external security. So no surprise, but a strong voice, a strong Polish voice, and it's very much welcome, yes.
And
I tweeted on that. So.
Yes. Well, now concerning the security issues, I mean, obviously Ukraine has united France and Poland in ways that were previously maybe not possible in such a short amount of time. It's certainly a way that Vladimir Putin didn't expect. Yet here in Poland, Poland also relies on the transatlantic relationship as well for one of the main elements of its security, and of course NATO. Is that in line with France's expectations as far as cooperation on security and defense here in Europe?
Yeah.
Or do they complement?
There is no contradiction, and we are also a very faithful and a strong ally within NATO, and we are close to our American friends. That doesn't mean that we should not reinforce the European pillar. And I noticed that this morning in Minister Sikorski's speech there was a lot of element about European defense, which is very appreciated in Paris. So no, there is no, maybe there could be some nuances because we are in different places, different responsibility. France is a member of the UN Security Council, so maybe it should be a bit different, but this is just nuances. Globally, we are completely in line with this new Polish voice as was expressed by Minister Sikorski this morning.
Well, that's very, very positive. Mr. Sikorski also raised the issue of immigration, unregulated and uncontrolled immigration, which is obviously a very hot topic in Europe, very contentious. Where does France stand on that, especially in terms of what Foreign Minister Sikorski raised in his speech today?
We support a compromise that was designed in European Parliament and in European institutions recently. So we do think that this is important for Europe to take back control of its border. My president today mentioned that we want to regain as European full and complete control of our borders and assume responsibility for them. And probably on this also we might find some good element with the Polish position. It will be, I understand, it will be one of the priority of the Polish presidency of the EU, and that's useful, yes.
Certainly, it is. Mr. Sikorski, if I'm not mistaken, also mentioned this element of trying to help the countries that, that take in the most refugees, and I imagine that he's talking about the southern periphery of Europe. So does France share that view that perhaps there needs to be financial transfers to help these countries that are most burdened by irregular migration to deal with the problem?
Those issues are very complex, so we have to see in details what does it mean in concrete terms. But in general, I do think that we are on the same page saying that this is an issue that has to be tackled at the European level, which is the most important. Each country cannot deal with the challenge of illegal immigration alone. So the important thing is that we discuss within the EU, and that Warsaw made this case if it's necessary.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for joining us. French Ambassador to Poland, Étienne de Poncins, thank you very much for joining us at TVP World.
Thank you very much.